morning, everybody. It's House for Justice, and we're going to still continue to share with you about Social Security Administration and everything that happened in January 2021 that is continuing to happen today, and the updates on all of everything that's happening between Social Security Administration in the state of Vermont. The Human Services Director, T.J. Donovan, is the Attorney General, but the Human Services Director is, last we know, Sean Donahue, who was the same back in the day of 2007 when they came at me with a fictitious warrant of abandonment to take my children into custody for the state of Vermont to be able to what? They did what to my children? They assaulted my children, they abused my children, and I have all proof of that in a case file. So when Vermont State Police came in March of 2021, which this leads up to all of this, okay? That's why I'm telling you in advance, March of 2021, the police, directed by Attorney General T.J. Donovan, came to my home with a search warrant, and all they did was stand in my kitchen, okay? They didn't search for anything, but they handed me paperwork, and I think that they were, now looking back at it, I'm pretty sure that the officers that were there, the one that stood by the door, he didn't want anything to do with it, is really seriously how I take it. The two that looked like twins that stood over by my kitchen blocking my living room, I don't know what that was all about. I mean, I don't even think they know what it was about. And then you got the one that thought that he was Mr. Macho Man on steroids that stood there at the table. And I've shared that whole search warrant with you that got audio recorded. It tells that, you know, they didn't want me to audio record anything, which is a violation of my rights. All these violations of my rights, I've got on audio record, folks. They have come at me time and time again. Kidnapped my kids, over medicating Brianna, taking my grandson, locking me out of my home, firing at me in my car, taking bolts out of the A-frame, cutting the coil spring, burning homes, thinking that they were probably burning me out, burning my home in North Anson, doing all kinds of stuff. And when I say my home, yeah, I was a resident there, and my uncle and I had an agreement until he went to jail and we weren't able to talk anymore because, again, the government, state, and county and town officials conspired to crime against my uncle without a doubt. They kept us from speaking to each other, and I've got audio records. All this is coming back out to video because why? Somebody didn't like that I share the truth, and the only ones that don't like when you share the truth are the ones that are committing the crimes. So I'm going to continue sharing my information until everybody gets the gist of this. If you have any information that you want to share, if you want to join a lawsuit, if you want lawsuit, did I say that? Yeah, I sure the fuck did. If you want to join a lawsuit and start standing up for your rights and get justice for what has been done wrong to you and against you. If your children have been stolen by the state and the government, step up. Start fighting for your kids, because if your kids are still in state custody and you're not fighting about it, you're not doing anything about it. Therefore, you're letting the government and the state dumb you down and steal your family, which is a violation of your human rights, civil rights, right to life, right to family, your child's right. Don't you care about your child enough to stand the fuck up for your human rights, civil rights, disability rights, and more? Well, I care enough about my family, and I'm going to continue to care about my family. And yes, the girls don't like each other, but I have 3 beautiful daughters. And I love my children. They were misguided by the government and state officials. Isn't that right, T.J. Donovan, Sean Donahue, Marion Robillard, who is the wife of Real Robillard, who is the cop, the Vermont detective that had 2 of my children? Why did my kids even go into the hands of government agents like Jeffrey Hare, who was found to have abused Brianna? Not once, twice, but many times, okay? It's listed in DCF records. Right here in my room. Where what? Oh, where y'all tried to burn them out? You tried to steal them? You hid them from me at the Vermont Guildhall, Essex County Court for how many years? 14 years. But here, we're going to go back to Social Security disability, and we're going to tell you all these things lead up to PTSD. So how could they even possibly say that I wasn't disabled? Now, let me tell you something. Legal aid in the state of Vermont, her name is Kelly Kazmarski. She's the one that was on the case. I have filed against her grievance. I have filed against misconduct for the judges, the attorneys, all of them, especially you, Laura Wilson. I know you watch my videos. The fact is, I don't like the thought that you continuously like to violate my daughter. You are a violation of misconduct with a client. You represented me in a court case where you shouldn't have done that at an arraignment. Okay, that was code of ethics violation. We all know it, so I'm going to bring that to this, not only the state level, again, but to Washington, D.C. You violated my rights. You violated Brianna's rights. You're still violating Brianna's rights. My daughter has requested that you stand up for her. You should have made sure, Laura Wilson, that my daughter's baby is already returned to her before it was even taken from her. Isn't that right, Laura Wilson? Seems how you're on the board of panels for the federal court level, which is another violation of code of ethics for your client, okay? Because we had what? We had filed against all of these people that you are working for. You're supposed to be representing Brianna, and you haven't done anything. I have messages from April 1st of 2021 on my cell phone that prove that as well, Laura Wilson. The court-appointed defending attorney, overseen by TJ Donovan. Violation, people. Pay attention. When I tell you violation, we're going to talk about that stuff. But here goes. We're going to hear another conversation with Social Security Administration backing up what I said in the first place.
right zip code, so let me try it now. 05676 is the zip code, so let me try. 05676. Oh, the closest office would be Montpelier? Yeah, that's the one I'm having issues with. How about Burlington? Do you show Burlington? No, I'd have to do a search for that one. It goes only by zip code. Okay, I'll try it once I get off the phone. I can Google it. But thank you very much for your time. Oh, you're welcome. Take care. Bye.
That's just a little bit more information to share with you leading up to today's situation being in February 22. But now I'm going to go into the month of February 2021 and share with you what happened in that month and see if anything has changed.